Why do you support Trump?
Uh, like his policies. I think he's a good president. I think he's doing his best to make the country better.
Okay. What policies?
Let's see, immigration policy. I like the big beautiful bill.
What else?
That's all I got right now.
Okay. Can you name one provision within the big beautiful bill that you would like?
Um, so the no tax on tips. Do you consider yourself a patriot?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain why.
Because I think I love this country, and I want this country to be better off.
Okay. I think I disagree with you, judging by the amount of hate and disrespect you and everybody else that do this express to everyone.
So because I'm disrespectful, you think I'm not a patriot?
Yes, and it appears and looks to me like all of the people like you that do this, you guys seem to hate the country so much, and you 24/7 on this app for money. Me personally, I think every one of you that do this should get sued and get a defamation lawsuit against you,
Okay, so
in my
I think
opinion.
it looks like I'm going to need a defamation lawsuit fund in order to be able to go against that one. But yeah, if you think I'm disrespectful, therefore I'm not a patriot, then you think that Trump, because he's disrespectful, is not a patriot, right?
I think Trump's a patriot. Yep.
But he's
He loves his
disrespectful.
country. He loves his country. He's trying to do his best to do
Is
everything in
do
his
you think Trump is
power.
disrespectful?
No,
No, are you Christian?
no.
No, but do you think this is disrespectful to Christians?
Mm, I guess some Christians might think so, but I personally, in my opinion, don't think so. I think it's
Okay.
just like a depiction or an
So it
expression,
seems like he can't
an artistic
possibly
expression.
be patriotic because he's incredibly disrespectful to so many Christians in this country.
Do you blame him though, with the amount of disrespect and the amount of people that go out of their way and do what you guys do to try
That
to
is
get him
blasphemy,
out of
dude.
office?
That's blasphemy.
Yeah, artistic expression. Not really meant to
Artistic
deceive or
expression.
yeah. It's historically, people use and express Jesus in their own picture and ways in all different
Okay, well,
ways.
I okay. So then, if I were to show you Donald Trump calling for the execution of some Democrats, is that disrespectful?
Well, what did the Democrats do?
They said
You know?
you shouldn't follow unlawful orders if you're given them.
Okay, well, was there any unlawful orders?
Yes, but they never specified any unlawful order. For example, Donald Trump gave an unlawful order to Mike Pence, who also said the same thing. Mike Pence also said that he was given an unlawful order, and that if you're given an unlawful order, that you should not follow it because that's what the Constitution, your oath to the Constitution, literally tells you should do. Therefore, under your view, you would think it's justified for Donald Trump to call for the execution of Mike Pence, right? And you'd still vote
Mm,
for him.
yeah.
You'd still support Trump even if he called for the execution of Mike Pence.
Well, hold on. Let's compare. You guys hate Trump so much, okay? So let's compare him to the previous
That's
administration.
disrespectful that you would say that you would still support Donald Trump even though he called for the execution of Mike Pence. That's disrespectful, and therefore you are not patriotic. Therefore, Trump is not patriotic because he's
Disagree.
disrespectful, right?
See, all you guys do is just try to twist everything and make
Give him
everybody
again.
look dehumanize people.
How am I
You know, I think
dehumanizing you?
I think it's wrong what you guys do. You guys dehumanize so many people. You're so disrespectful to women and everybody.
How am I disrespectful to women? Did I say quiet
For
picky
example,
to a woman
okay,
who's a
you might
reporter?
not be doing it to me right now, but I've watched you guys, and there's a lot of times where you guys, even though the other people are respectful and try to be nice, you guys just turn around and call them ridiculous names, be completely disrespectful in all different ways, and I think that's wrong. And I think that you guys are not out here for good debate at all whatsoever. You guys don't come on here. You're behind a screen,
You know that
and
Donald Trump has
I
called
think
women
the way
pigs, right?
I think the
Do you
way
think that's
some of you guys
disrespectful?
I think the way some of you guys talk to people behind the screen I doubt you would do it in person, face to
Okay, so
face.
I do, but can you address this? Donald Trump is called women pigs. Do you think that's disrespectful?
What women?
Does that matter? Is it still
It
disrespectful, right?
does. Context matters. You guys pull stuff out of
Okay, so then
context,
wait,
twist
wait. So
things
then
all the
doesn't
time.
the context of me being disrespectful to people matter as well? You didn't provide any of that context.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm not done. You keep interrupting me. What What do you do actually that benefits society? What do you think?
This.
How does this benefit society? What you're doing, being bad and not in good debate or not faithful debates for people. How is this good for society?
It gets more people politically involved. It gets people to critically think to a greater extent. It gets people to use reason to justify their argumentation. It educates people about things that are happening in the world and current events and things that are going on.
Okay, well, the way you do it, do you feel that it could be disrespectful, and then maybe that's why it doesn't look so good for your guys' side? Is how
Sometimes I'm
disrespectful
disrespectful,
you
but I
guys
think
do
that
it?
I'm disrespectful in circumstances oftentimes that justify me being disrespectful to them. But sure, there are some times that I'm disrespectful unjustly, and I definitely think back on those times and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But
Well,
in general, like the point I would still make is that why are we holding me to the same standard we're holding to the president of the United States?
well, because the president of the United States right now, your president, he's doing good things,
No,
trying
he's
really
not.
hard to put America first.
How so?
He's
How is he putting America first? I think he's putting Trump first, not America first.
I disagree.
Okay, how is he putting America first and not Trump first?
Well, first off, with the immigration, okay, so if you protect women and children, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by him with the immigrate getting these illegal criminals out of here that uh hold on so I don't get banned. What do I say? So the illegal immigrants that unalive American citizens, women and children, he's actually doing the stuff to get that done, to get them out of here. So that way our innocent citizens are not getting unalived.
Okay, so
So according to
I
you, you support Kamala and Biden, the worst term ever in history, I think. Uh, Kamala and Biden directly contributed to the millions of immigrants pouring through the border. There's video evidence of where they deliberately just tear down um, the barbed wire or whatever because it was inhumane or whatever, and they got rid of rapid DNA testing, allowing for millions of immigrants to pour in, and a lot of them are criminals and they unalive people or bad people, and they just come in here. You guys support that over? You guys support illegals over protecting American citizens? Is that what I'm gathering?
No, we don't support criminal murderers being let into the country. We still want to deport those that have committed murder, of course. The barbed wire they were getting taking down was stuff that state border patrol or not state border patrol, state National Guard put there, which is something that they don't have the jurisdiction to do. They were taking it down because that was specifically limiting federal border agents from being able to do their job. And then also, if you want to reference the quote unquote millions of people that came through the country, the Biden Harris administration didn't cause that. That was due to economic insecurity that existed around the world due to global inflation, which then led to more people coming to this country. It would have happened regardless of the administration. But if you want to reference specifically the DNA testing is specifically for people who are trying to come over with a sponsor specifically, right? And they base it upon paperwork, right? Not DNA testing. DNA testing was invasive and useless because DNA testing does not establish that someone specifically is the a parent or a parental figure or has that particular obligation as the caretaker of a certain kid. The paperwork would do that. Paperwork is necessary and sufficient. The DNA testing is nor necessary nor sufficient. So it's really useless. It's just very costly for no reason and incredibly invasive. And then I think that Donald Trump is not protecting women and children when he actively brags about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without the consent, where two 18-year-olds came out, said there were four girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms, where Donald Trump would barge in, when he said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, when he sexualized his daughter on countless occasions, when he was credibly accused by a minor in the Epstein files who got a settlement with the Epstein estate, when he was held civilly liable of sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll, forcibly penetrating her against her will. All of these things indicate that Donald Trump clearly doesn't give a shit about protecting women and children.
He said a lot there, huh? Let's go back to the part where he said that the Biden and Kamala didn't contribute, or whatever he said about how
Kamala,
they
by the way,
didn't
just say
contribute to
Harris.
so many immigrants pouring in, right?
Yeah, they didn't contribute to that. That was obviously the inflation at the time.
So the video of them directly tearing down the barbed wire to keep them from coming, that doesn't contribute to it.
That state National
And
Guard that put
Kamala's
that
in
barbed
charge of
wire
the
there, which
border.
prevented federal border agents from doing their job. So actually, yeah, it wasn't good. The barbed
I
wire that was
disagree.
there, that they don't have the jurisdiction to put it there. And it was razor wire, not even barbed wire. It was razor wire.
Yeah, it worked, didn't it? I
No,
take it down.
they took it down because it was
That allowed,
restricting border agents from doing their job. Federal border agents.
but
Lulu,
it
thank you so
allowed
much. I really
millions
appreciate the
of
galaxy.
illegals
Thank you
and
very much.
criminals to come in.
What's
How are
up?
you not seeing that? It allowed millions of illegals and criminals to come pouring in. How do you not see that?
That's not true. So when you say that
There's
the
video of it. There's
wait,
video
when you
of
say like the
immigrants
murderers,
just
for
pouring
example,
in.
wait, so people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes and who have committed all of these crimes that are obviously a threat to the safety and security of our population, Democrats also agree you should deport those individuals. But also, by the way, you're trying to take this all away from the idea that clearly Donald Trump doesn't care about protecting women and children when he was literally held civilly liable of sexually abusing women, when he bragged about sexually exploiting women, when he literally said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. All of that is not protecting women and children.
You guys just twist the context, all it is. And the yes,
I'm
you're
not twisting the
referencing Eugene
context. You're
Carroll.
just unwilling to acknowledge anything that I say.
Hold
Anything
on,
that I say,
you're
you're just going to
referencing
twist
Eugene
it
Carroll here,
into
right?
I
When we're
hate the
talking about that
country
case.
and that I'm just saying whatever 24/7 for money. That's what you came on the live and said. I've given you legitimate reasons why I think the way that I
Yeah.
think. I've given you context. I've given you relevant information. And all you'll think out of that is I hate the country and I am just coming on here to complain 24/7 just for money. Not because I
Well,
care about the people in our country, not because I want to make the country a better place, not because I want people to critically think more and use reason and try to look for evidence more, but because I just want money.
well, that's for the people to decide. All the people watching and seeing all you and people like you that spread and express all the disrespect and hate. I think that's why your
Yeah,
side doesn't
Parker,
look
you're
so good.
disrespectful and hateful, therefore you should be sued.
And I think
You
you
should
hate the
be able
country.
to be
Yeah.
sued, Parker.
With what you guys do and expressing so much hate, it's only Donald Trump. You guys only
Okay.
hate
What justifies me being
everything's
sued?
about how you hate Donald Trump so much.
What justifies me being sued?
Everything you guys are doing to defamate him.
Defamate him?
Yeah,
Defame him? So, what
yeah,
did I do
defame
today?
him.
What did I say about Trump that was defamation?
So for one, you guys, well, you mentioned the Eugene Carroll, right? That's what you're meaning about that. I think that whole thing was just a political motivation, and she didn't even remember like the day it happened. She just happened to bring it up
So,
20
because
years
I'd say that
later, and
Donald
she
Trump is
won
a
like
sexual
80
abuser,
some million dollars off of it.
you know,
So I
Trump
think it
got
was like
sued
a
for
money grab.
defamation. Trump is the one who lost that defamation case. So, how could I lose that defamation case if Trump already lost? Yeah, sue me for it. I'll win. I'll literally win because the courts have already determined that yes, he did engage in sexual abuse and defamation. So yeah, try it.
I still don't understand how you think you're just out here for good debate.
I
Honestly,
am.
you
I
guys,
literally am. I've
all
been
you
giving
guys
you
are
reasons
doing,
and arguments.
all you guys are doing is literally just purposely dividing the country more. You're not out here being respectful. And the difference between you and Charlie Kirk is you guys mute and want to cancel people. You don't let people talk. You're disrespectful right
Charlie
out the
Kirk
gate.
wouldn't debate me and Dean because literally we would get too much attention from that.
Well, there's videos of you debating them, so you
Yeah,
got to
you
debate
understand
them,
that
right?
we're talking about long form debate after my
Try
Jubilee.
about it.
And by the way, you could say, okay, he's not going to debate me because he already debated Parker on Jubilee. Okay, then debate Dean. Why didn't he debate Dean?
He debated you guys multiple times, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He never debated Dean multiple times.
Or at least how many times? There's a couple of times at least.
Nope. The only time he ever talked to Dean was like for like 3 minutes on Jubilee.
Hmm.
Okay, I talked to
Well,
him. I
all right,
talked
hold
to him
on.
twice. I talked to him at Jubilee, and I got to debate him, dunk on him multiple times. And then I literally also talked to him when I showed up at a campus and caught him off guard, and he kicked me out in less than 7 minutes.
Yeah, probably because you kept cutting him off like you guys do.
No, I know it's because
Yeah.
I was debunking him and showing how his views are insane and how he has to justify ridiculous things.
Yeah.
He
You guys
literally
like
he literally
you
was
guys like
trying to
try to
defend
twist it
Elon Musk
around,
doing
make
an Absolutely.
make him think. You guys think Charlie Kirk's racist too, which is
He
a
is.
complete joke.
Or
No,
was.
no.
He absolutely was.
So, do you think you're better at debating than Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, absolutely.
How so?
I dunked on him repeatedly in the debate.
Just because you cut him off and interrupt him disrespectfully doesn't make you a better debater, right?
No, it's not
I mean,
because I
if
was
you look at,
disrespectful or cutting him off. It's because the points I made were better than the points he made.
if you compare Charlie Kirk to the way that you guys debate, Charlie Kirk definitely looks better, and the way he debates is better than you guys because
I very
he
much
wasn't
disagree.
disrespectful. He
He
wasn't
was. He called me
disrespectful.
deranged.
Deranged. Okay, that's nothing compared to what you guys say.
Okay, what did I say that was so bad?
Maybe not to Charlie Kirk, but the way you guys depict yourselves to your fellow
Okay,
citizens here
what
on the
did I do
chat
that was so
behind the
bad?
screen. Just look back at your videos. I'm sure you guys cut out all that bad stuff.
No, but what? Just tell me what parts. Do you know any off the top of your head?
The parts that where you guys disrespect people.
Yeah, like can you give me an example of me disrespecting someone in a manner in which you think is so bad that it's so much worse than what Charlie Kirk did
So,
in saying that I'm deranged?
all right. So the way that you guys talk to women, especially women that try to be respectful, they come
Can
up
you
here,
be
the ones
specific?
that I'm getting at it. Okay, so the ones that come up here that try to be respectful, maybe they're not that good at debating, maybe they're not as educated as you are, like behind looking at everything on a computer, and you guys are just so disrespectful
But you can't
to
say
them
how
for
I
no
was
reason, and
disrespectful.
you guys call them POS, stupid. I don't know if I say that
I
word,
mean, if
okay,
someone does something
whatever.
stupid, I will say it's stupid. Or if someone is a piece of shit, I'm gonna say that they're a piece of shit. That doesn't make me disrespectful to women as a whole. That means that there are specific individuals that specifically did this that were obviously insane. And by the way, you can't even give me specific examples. You're just saying a general thing of, oh, you probably called someone stupid. Like what? What is that? Is that much worse than calling someone deranged?
Are you really trying to defend that you're not disrespectful to people and that you don't say
Every
hateful
once in a
things?
while, I am
Because it's on
disrespectful to
video.
people, but I don't think that I'm so much more disrespectful than Charlie was there.
Much more
Charlie
disrespectful. He
calling me
never
deranged
said
is
vulgar
just as
names and
disrespectful as
name
I ever
calling like
am.
that. Charlie Kirk never said vulgar names and
Yes, he
cuss
did.
words like you
He
do.
called me deranged. That's literally vulgar, right?
Deranged. That ain't that bad.
That is.
Deranged. Maybe he called you deranged because you kept cutting him off and you were disrespectful to him in the middle of a debate. You
How
kept
was I
cutting him off.
disrespectful to him?
Just watch the video
I did. How was I disrespectful to him?
because you cut him off
So,
multiple
so did
times.
he interrupted me? So was he disrespectful to me?
Well, I think so. He was just responding to the 100 million things you were
So
trying to
was I.
do all at once after you were
So was
cutting him
I.
off multiple
So was
times
I.
first.
So how is him cutting me off
Disagree,
not
disagree.
disrespectful, but me cutting him off is disrespectful?
Hold on. Just plain and simple fact here, okay? Charlie
No, no, no.
Kirk,
Explain. How is him cutting me off not disrespectful, but me cutting him off is disrespectful?
because you cut him off first and he was just trying to
I don't
respond to
even know if
you
that's true,
interrupting
actually.
him.
I
Yes,
actually
he
don't
was
know if that's
responding.
true. I can go back and watch the debates.
Watch
I
the
don't know if
video.
that's true.
Watch it. Watch
What's
it.
up?
You cut him off multiple times first, and he was just trying to respond
I
to
don't
the
even think
100
that's true.
million things that you would say all at once.
I actually don't even think that's true, by the way. I think he actually probably did cut me off first.
Yeah, respectfully,
Yeah.
if you did. Okay, that's
Respectfully, he cut me off. Okay, so do you see what I mean?
yeah.
You see the double standards here? How you just say that I'm doing it for money, how I just hate the country, how
But
I'm so disrespectful and rude because I do all these things, and then the same things are done by the people that you like, and then you say it's not disrespectful. You don't say it's because they're doing it for money. You don't say it's because they hate the country. So do you see the utter hypocrisy and double standard that you apply to me, then you apply to the people that you support and the people that you like? I think that's utterly dishonest and incredibly disrespectful to me.
well, you should feel that way. So how can you sit here and say that? Like, if you go and watch the video of you debating Charlie Kirk, and I'm pretty confident that you interrupted him first. So
Okay, well,
the
I
reason he
debated
called
him, and
you,
I'm pretty confident that he interrupted me first.
the reason you, or the reason he called you deranged is probably because you were disrespectfully cutting him off, right?
He cut me off, so then I can call him deranged? Is that a justification?
Well, the
So you
difference
know what?
between
Every single person,
you're
actually watch this. Every single person I was ever disrespectful to, they cut me off first.
There's some,
Every single
not all,
person that you're talking about that I was disrespectful to, they were disrespectful to me first.
no, not all of them. Some of them were just, they just couldn't answer your question. And they didn't know how to answer it because you trapped them into some
And that's just not true.
anecdotal and hypothetical
Not
bullshit.
true. I
That's
don't
what you
just
guys
for like
do.
just because someone doesn't know how to answer something, be disrespectful to them. That's ridiculous. I do not do that.
Well, go back and look at your videos
I
because there's
have.
some that
I
you do.
literally recorded them myself.
Well, you probably cut that part out then because
I
I
don't.
remember
My lives
there's
are
plenty of
100%
times where you guys are
viewable on.
so
Hey, dude.
disrespectful
Hey,
to
dude.
people
You
for no
can go to
reason.
YouTube and you can watch the whole stream. There's nothing cut out in the stream.
Well, maybe you're not as bad as Dean, but I know Dean's definitely been really
Okay.
disrespectful to some
Did you know
people.
that Charlie said that Dean was actually a really nice, really smart person, and very and was actually like someone that he would debate again. That's what he said about Dean. He said that he liked Dean actually. Did you know that?
Yeah, but what else did he say? There was something else he said about. He said he was a good debater, but uh,
He said that about me. He said I'm
I
smart but
also
annoying. That's what he said about me.
and he said something similar about Dean too because he would like
No,
cut him off
he
too.
said that Dean was very nice and that Dean was respectful and he thought for some reason that he was most likely to turn right for some reason, which is a crazy thing
Okay,
to
well,
say.
there's an example then. Okay, why can't he be like that behind the screen?
What do you mean?
So he's so disrespectful to thousands of people every single day, but he doesn't do that in person. Isn't that weird?
No, he didn't do it on Jubilee because of the Jubilee audience. That's literally the
Yeah.
reason. But yeah, he does do this in
So
person.
that makes it
You can
okay to
watch
do it
Dean's
behind the
YouTube
screen
videos in
then?
person. He acts the same way in person. Okay? You can go watch my videos of me debating people in person. I act the same way in person as well.
Yeah. I doubt you guys would talk to some people the way you do in person,
I absolutely
like you do
would.
behind a screen.
I absolutely would. What about what I've said would I not say in person? Exactly. You see what I mean? There's nothing that you could say that I've said that I wouldn't say in person because nothing I've said is so ridiculous that I wouldn't say it in person.
Well, can you acknowledge that Charlie Kirk was not racist and he was a better debater than you?
He absolutely was racist, and he got dog walked in
How?
every single one of our debates. You can't mention a single point that he ever beat me on.
How was he racist?
I can go through and
How
explain
was
this a
he
million
not an
times. This is a
American
nice
hero?
pivot, though. But specifically, Charlie Kirk is racist because of the fact that he would say that specifically because someone's black that they weren't a qualified pilot. Right? He said specifically if he saw that the pilot was black that he would assume that they aren't qualified, and he'd be like, "Boy, I hope that they're qualified." When in reality, that every single person who's a pilot, in order to get a commercial license, needs to have the necessary regulations, right, and licenses in order to be able to fly in the first place, meaning that they are qualified to fly. The argument that they're not qualified to fly is ridiculous, especially because the only basis in changing specifically who was able to even become a pilot in the first place is simply just based upon who would go into the training program in the first place, not based upon, right, specifically someone who wasn't trained. So not only did they go through a training program, not only did they get a license, but they were absolutely qualified to be in that position. So the idea that you would think that someone is black is not qualified simply for being black is literally racism. We can give countless others of examples. That's just a very good example.
Disagree with the way that you guys claim to be racist about that because I think what he meant by that was uh, DEI lowering standards, and he meant like wanted it to be more merit based.
Yeah, I understand, but
Not racist at
that
all.
wasn't true. That was a lie. It was a made up lie.
Disagree.
It literally is a made up lie. Like quite literally, you have to be qualified in order to be able to fly.
So,
What standards did they lower? Can you tell me?
so for example, I don't know if I get. Let me see. So, do you know about that plane crash in 2022? I think I forget her name,
What
but
standards did they lower?
well, I'm gonna explain what this
So if you don't have any
plane crash.
standards, then I don't know how you could make this argument.
Okay, so I guess the lowered standard would be like favoring. I'll use that girl that crashed in 2022 as an example. So
None of these, none of
might have
this is
favored
evidence
her.
that people specifically who are not white are like not qualified or something. This is a ridiculous argument. You understand that saying that a person who's a pilot just because they're black is not qualified is absolutely a ludicrous thing to say when there are federal legalized license standards and they went through the same training as every other person that is going to be flying. The argument that you are making, or that anyone would be making, that there would be a difference in that is a made up propagandistic lie to make it seem like people who are black are not qualified for being black. That's why it's racism. Okay? I can give countless other examples, but this is blatant racism.
I don't think it was racist because the way he meant it was just DEI lowered standards and more
But it didn't
independent
lower
skill.
standards. What standards did it
Independent
lower? You
skill.
can't tell me what standards it lowered.
So, for example, with the plane crash with the girl named Jenny, I think, or Fly Girl, 2022, she crashed the
Wait,
plane.
by the way, is this an
She had
example of
like
Charlie
way
Kirk
more
being
hours.
disrespectful?
She had way more hours than she was supposed that like than the average person to graduate, but yet the flight instructor probably looked past it.
Give me
You
a
know,
source.
uh, Google, look up
I need,
2022 plane crash, Jenny or Fly Girl, something like that.
and you're saying that they got into this position because of DEI.
I mean, one could suggest, but
Well, there's no evidence of that.
why did they still give her the pilot license you
Nothing to do
know
with
if
DEI.
she wasn't favored?
Yeah, the scenario you're talking
Like,
about has
there's
nothing to
literally
do with DEI.
there's literally a video evidence of her where she had like 192 hours, way past the way past like the average hours that somebody would graduate. Okay, and there's video evidence where she struggled so bad to like do the basic shit for flying the plane, and yet the instructor still passed her and let her get the pilot license. Okay, there's a video where she's flying and she's with the instructor. She's getting ready to go try to land, but can't do it. Way off course. And then instead of the instructor like telling her what to do to like fix it, or if she struggled so bad, all he did was he just took over, did it for her, landed it. How did she still get the pilot license after all that?
I need a source for
Having
that.
way
I don't
over
think
the
you have any source
average.
for that. Because I'm looking this up right now. There's nowhere that you can find specifically that they got into this position because of DEI.
There's actually a lot of news on that recently, like maybe
What's
a month
what's
ago.
the
I'm seeing it
actual
all over.
source? I'm looking this up right
Oh,
now, and I see
I'm
absolutely
explaining.
nothing justifying
I
this.
don't. I'm not behind a computer. I can't give you like a website or a link, but I'm just explaining it to you. I've seen
But
it
there
all
is
over
no source
TikTok.
looking
There
this
was
up, and I
multiple
literally just
people,
see.
even pilots were covering this, um, and explaining it. And it was Jenny Flygirl was the woman that it happened to, and you can look that up, and I'm sure you'll find something on it.
So I don't see any evidence
People
to
in the chat
believe.
saying making shit up. Nope.
I do think you're making this up because there's absolutely nothing that says that they were in this because of DEI.
Oh yeah, it doesn't say DI, but one could suggest that maybe perhaps they might have
Yeah, so
favored
you
her
saying one could
over.
suggest is not evidence.
Okay, well you guys suggest and make assumptions.
Yeah, but
I'll
that's
go
not
off my
evidence. So,
assumptions.
like, by the way, you making this as a claim specifically to justify Charlie's racist statement is crazy.
Look at the video evidence. Why did the instructor still give
Yeah,
her the pilot
again,
license?
there is no video evidence that you're referencing. You said maybe, perhaps, okay? Go find an actual legitimate source, or what you're saying right now is just bullshit. There's no point to even have this conversation. By the way, you came on my live stream saying, I hate this country, and then I just complain 24/7 for
You
money.
do.
You're complaining right now for attention.
No, I'm
And
not.
is that evidence that
I'm
you hate
trying
this
to
country?
expose
Because, by
you.
the way, let me just clarify. Because you're not actually doing anything productive here. You're not providing any policies you like. You're not providing any specifics that you have. You're not providing any evidence or justification for your position. To me,
Well,
that seems like you hate the country because you're unwilling to actually do research, and instead you're just going to sit there and complain without doing
no.
research.
I love this country. The only
Then why
difference
won't you do
between
research
me,
for the country?
well, I'm not behind a computer right now. But anyway,
But
you guys just
at
sit
any
behind a
point in
computer
time,
all
I'm not
day
saying
and look
right
up
now. I'm
so
saying at
much
any point in
information.
time. I'm saying at any point in time. You don't know anything out of any of the things I've asked you about this whole entire time. You've had no justification for a single thing. You've had no evidence. You've had no policies that you've been able to specifically mention. Nothing.
Did you look? Did you look it up?
I did, and I couldn't find anything.
Well, what search engine are you using? Is it completely favored to your narrative, or what?
What search engine would you like me to use?
Google.
Okay, I was using Google.
Well, it must be like personalized, only what you want to hear then.
Of course, of course. Whenever Parker searches up something and it disproves what the guest is saying, it has to be something wrong with his specific personalized search engine. Yep, you're totally right, man. You're totally right, man. Every single time Parker says something, it's got to be wrong. Just because Parker said it.
Well, I think the viewers should decide and think about what they support and like really think about what kind of person you guys are
Okay. If
and
if
the
uh,
way you
if
guys
if
depict
you
yourself.
are watching the stream and you agree with me, type 3 in the comment section.
Well, of course they're gonna type three because they're all brainwashed
They're
to
all
all you.
brainwashed. So, well.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love brainwashing everyone. You know, that's just like my favorite thing to do. Is just I just brainwash people, right? You said how do I go to sleep at night?
Yeah. How do you go to sleep at night feeling good about yourself and what you guys do every single day and
I sleep
disrespect
like a
people?
baby because what I do is better for the world.
How?
How? Because I just told you. I get more
How is
people
you?
involved with politics. I get people to specifically search things up, to look for evidence, to critically think to a greater extent, to provide
You guys are
argumentation for
getting
their
people
positions.
involved in the politics in the wrong ways, in the most disrespectful ways, and you're effectively just dividing everybody.
No, I'm not. I don't see
Yes.
any good reason to believe that. Can you thank all the brainwashed donors for sending me money?
No. I can't believe people even donate to this disrespectful shit, to be honest with you.
How am I so disrespectful, man? I haven't been rude to you.
The way you guys depict yourselves to everybody, maybe not me, maybe not this time, but tons of other occurrences, man.
Okay, but like, why
Just
don't you
go
say the
back
same
and
thing about
watch the
Trump?
videos.
Why do you still support Trump even though he's disrespectful?
Well, there's a difference between being disrespectful to the bad people that do everything in their power to freaking get rid of them for bullshit cases and lawsuits. So,
So, by the way, his justification for the distinction is literally just, it's okay to be disrespectful to be liberals. These liberals, it's so okay to be disrespectful to them. But, like, you're going to sit there and complain about me being disrespectful to you? What are you talking about, dude? And also, what about the Pope? He was disrespectful to the Pope. How do you feel about that one?
uh, I'm not informed on that.
Yeah,
And
before he posted his picture of him literally depicting himself as God, right? He was very rude to the Pope.
hmm. Well, I still don't know how you think you're just doing so good for society. What are you actually
I've
doing to
explained.
benefit society?
I've explained. You haven't responded intellectually to anything that I've brought up, right? All you've tried to do is sit here and say that it's wrong for me to be disrespectful while you've justified your own side doing that. Like, it's actually, you are like the standard of double standards, right? Like, literally the complete opposite, right? Of literally the other side doing the exact same thing you totally justified, but me doing it, it's so wrong. So, dude, like, seriously, I just genuinely don't understand. Like, why do you think it's justified for Trump to be disrespectful just because we're liberals? But if I'm disrespectful to MAGA on the stream, it's the end of the world.
Both side is the majority of disrespectful over all the people on the right. If you look at everything, like if you go in most lives with people that are doing debates, as a MAGA, most of them are not as disrespectful as you guys. They don't mute people like you guys do. They don't call them terrible names. So just look at that as an example.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know the reality of the matter is that I do have to mute some people. Some people deserve to be muted. Have you been muted?
No, I appreciate that, but
So do you
that's
see what I mean?
fucking
Even with someone who's
crazy that you
disagreeing
haven't,
with
though.
me and saying that I'm only on here just for money, I still haven't done that with you. So, like, I do mute some people because it's literally impossible to have a conversation with them if not.
Still just trying to figure out how you're actually beneficial to society, though, instead of just
But I've explained to you,
dividing
like,
people.
do you not think it's important for us to have like, okay, how about this? You like Charlie Kirk, right?
Respectful conversation is key.
You like Charlie
Yes,
Kirk, right?
your side doesn't depict that very well
But I am engaging in respectful conversation with you.
right now, but 99% of the other ones don't express the same way as what you're doing now.
I
Look at that.
I'm respectful with most people. It's just like some people don't deserve that respect.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we at least like make the broader point that just because Parker is disrespectful in some circumstances doesn't mean he's not a patriot or hates the country?
Well, it seems like you do hate the country, you know?
Okay, why do you think I hate the country?
Because all you do on here every single day is what it looks like to me is complain about Trump all day
Okay, so
long.
because I debate people
You guys
about
make
Trump, who's
money
the
over it.
president of the United States, you think I'm not a patriot? That makes zero sense.
Yes, hate the country. You hate everything about the country. You hate the way he's doing things. You guys just hate everything about everything with the current president
I
and the
hate
country of
everything
the
about
United States.
everything.
Yeah,
No, I don't hate everything about this country.
90% of it.
No, I don't.
Okay?
I think that Trump does. Trump's undermining our democracy. Trump's undermining our rule of law. Trump's undermining our constitution. Trump's undermining core fundamental American values. So how could you sit there while simultaneously supporting a person undermining our core fundamental American values and say that I'm against 90% of this country? Tell me, what's the 90% of this country that I'm against? I'd love to hear it.
You hate everything about Trump's policies, everything he's doing, and it's affecting. So in a
But
way,
that's
you
not the
guys
whole
say it
country. That's not
affects
everything about the
everything.
country. One person is not everything about the country. Me disagreeing with Trump, me thinking Trump does bad for the country is not me hating the country or everything in the country. That's me hating what Trump's doing to the country. Does that make sense? Like, for example, when Joe Biden was in office, Donald Trump did not like Joe Biden being in office, did not like what he was doing to the country. He thought everything that Joe Biden did was the worst for the country. He thought he was the worst president possible, right? But does that mean he hated the country as a whole and everything about the country?
No,
Okay. So even though he
but
was
all
disagreeing
right,
with
hold on.
practically everything Biden was doing, that doesn't mean that he hated everything about the country. So in the same way that you can say that about Trump, why can't you say that about me?
Let's use this as an example. Then hold on. So Trump has had multiple unalivement attempts, right?
Okay.
So has Biden had that? So in a way, what I'm trying to explain to you here, make you see, is that the left seems more violent because more presidents have been
Some of those
unalived
people, one of
by
those
the.
people that tried to do an attempt against Trump was literally a registered Republican, right?
Hmm, I don't know. Disagree on that.
They
Just
like,
look back
well,
at
they,
all.
you
Look
can't
back at
disagree on that.
all
They
the
were a
presidents
registered
that have been
Republican. Not only were they
unalived.
registered as a Republican, but they talked to the
More
people that they went
presidents
to school
unalived are
with, and they were
Republicans by the
known as like
left.
that one conservative kid at school.
More Republican presidents have been unalived by the left than the Democratic.
Give me examples.
How many presidents have been unalived?
Um, I don't know off the top of my head a few. The last one was
Wrong.
JFK, right?
4.
Was JFK Republican or Democrat?
JFK. I think he was a Democrat, wasn't he?
There you go.
And there was 3 Republicans too. So 3
What?
Republicans unalived, 1 Democratic. What does
There
that
was
tell you?
there was Abraham Lincoln, but
Maybe
Abraham
that
Lincoln
shows
was a
you that.
liberal for the time.
Maybe that shows you that the conservative and Republicans aren't so violent and disrespectful as you guys.
But
You know.
the Republican Party was not the same Republican Party today. Like that party was considered liberal for the time.
I don't know, man. You guys just. I think you guys need to like do a better approach or something.
I don't,
Because,
man. I can't justify it, but you guys just
you
hate the
got
country.
hold on. You got your group of people, okay? You and Dean. You know, you got a
That
little
I
group of people
brainwashed into
that
sending me money like you've never seen before.
they all support you, but I think a majority of the people that watch, majority of the people that aren't delusional or deranged. I'll use deranged because that was very respectful in my opinion that Charlie Kirk used against you. So all you deranged, the majority of the people watching will have their own opinion to watch and decide themselves of what they think. But I think majority of the people can agree that you guys are not on here for good debate.
I am on here
All you
for good
do
debates.
is
Wait, if you think I
you
am on
guys
here for good
primarily
debates, wait,
divide
watch.
and
If you think I am on here for good
dehumanize
debates,
people.
type 3 in the comment section. Watch this.
Well, of course, your whole fan base is just going to type 3. I mean, Jesus Christ.
The issue is Trump supporters aren't here for good debates. So what you're doing is you're saying, oh, Trump supporters are coming up on the live, not trying to have good debates, right? Therefore, Parker isn't trying to have good debates. I am. I'm actively trying to have a good debate with you right now. And what you've come on my live stream to do is you've said that I'm just doing this for money, is you've said it's justified for Charlie Kirk to call me deranged, is you've said I hate the country, you said that I'm not a patriot, you said that I don't care about protecting women and children in this country, you said that I want murderers and criminals to be let into the country because of the open border policy, you said that I'm dehumanizing people, you said all of these things about me.
Well, yeah.
Right?
I completely disagree.
And they're all fake. They're all lies. Every single one of them is not true.
I completely disagree that you protect women and children, just given the fact that you allowed Joe Biden and Kamala to do that to the border, letting all
Kamala and Joe, like, what do you mean? What policy did they pass called the Open Border Act? When did they do that?
Well, there might not have been a policy, but there's video evidence of them just fucking the border.
I already explained this. The tearing down of the razor wire was because the state National Guard does not have the authority to do that. And it was limiting federal border agents from doing their job. By the way, there are individuals that were going through that way and coming into the country through that way that were seeking asylum, which is a legal process of immigration. They're allowed to do that. Okay? The argument that literally everyone that was coming in through that mechanism was illegal, was undocumented, was literally coming to this country as a murderer trying to destroy this country is the most absurd, ridiculous thing possible. Because you're talking about mostly legal immigrants. You're talking about people who have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes.
You support the unalivement of innocent women and children in the United States then. Got it. Because you voted for Biden and Kamala, which let all
Kamala. Just say Harris, by the way. It's okay. So, in terms of people coming to the country, just because I support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris over Donald Trump does not mean I support women and children being murdered. I don't see any good reason to believe that. That's called a straw man fallacy. Because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do not support people being murdered. Okay? And then coming into our country. So you understand that they still want to deport individuals like that. I still want to deport individuals like that. There is no good argument to say that we wouldn't.
Donald Trump. He secured the border. Would you guys agree with it today if he opened it back up the way that they did and millions of other immigrants poured in here and allowed more illegal criminals to come in here and unallow women and children? Would you support that?
I would support making the legal process go quicker. I would not support just allowing murderers. I would not support allowing murderers into our country. I don't think Biden's policy was to allow murderers into the country.
Yeah, that there wasn't a policy, that they just did it anyway. They allowed all of them to come in under their admission, under their leadership.
No, they didn't. So you understand that there was limitations and deportations that existed under the Biden administration, right? They still had restrictions on the border. This argument that it was completely open, they just let anyone come in, is a made-up propagandistic lie to try to convince you to believe that Democrats are okay with murderers being in the country, which is absurd. And the reason why they're trying to do this is because they don't have any meaningful policy that they are actually standing on themselves that they could advocate for, so they have to rely upon misinformation, claims, and bullshit to convince people to believe that the Democrats are trying to destroy the country when there's no good reason to believe that at all.
Okay, well, I'll ask, under Trump's first term and this term, do you think less people have crossed the border illegally versus Biden and Kamala or Harris?
Of course, I think that less people have now comparative to then, but that's because of conditions that I think are abuses of power that Trump's engaged in, not things that are good things they should have done to be able to reduce it. I think the meaningful way to reduce it is by making the legal process go quicker. But the reality of the matter is that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden still supported criminalizing undocumented entry. They just wanted to make the legal process go quicker. They advocated for a bipartisan border bill that would have secured the border and would have made the legal process go quicker, but Donald Trump called for people in Congress to undermine that very bill and said, blame it on me if the border bill fails. Because he didn't give a shit about actually getting legislation done to pass to actually address immigration in the long run. He cared more about getting elected for president of the United States, running on the fact that immigration was an issue.
So Trump, he had lower numbers with the border when he was in office versus Biden. terrorist.
Yeah,
You don't think that says something? I mean,
not
like
really.
it outweighs. So
No.
what he did, in my opinion, what he did outweighs the bad versus the good. So he's closing the border, not letting the illegal criminals come in here and unalive our citizens.
Okay.
You guys are
This is so
okay with
frustrating. Did
this.
you know that undocumented immigrants are multiple times less likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the country compared to natural born U.S. citizens? Did you know that? So this whole argument that they're coming to the country and they're committing crimes like we have never seen before is simply not true. Plus, again, Democrats, again, like I've already told you multiple times, do want to go after people who have committed those violent crimes and bad crimes and remove them from the country. The argument that they just want to let them come into the country is literally a propagandistic lie. Please stop repeating it. Okay, I don't want to keep responding to the same
Completely,
point. I've already restated this like 6 times. At this point, it is absurd that you cannot acknowledge this.
completely avoidable if they wouldn't have done that, though. So you say that the number of the immigrants they don't do as much crime or whatever unalivings, okay? But look at all the cases that have happened where they've unalived innocent young
Yeah, dude,
women
and I
or
want to prevent that from
people
happening, but the
stuff people
argument
in
that
a
you're
drain
providing is that
pipe.
that's not prevented by what you're advocating for. It's not prevented, okay? There's nothing that
It
prevents
would have been
those
prevented if they
individuals.
didn't cut the razor wire down and stop DNA rapid testing to allow
Oh my God,
sex
I've already
trafficking as
addressed this. The
well.
DNA rapid testing was specifically for sponsors, right, to determine whether or not someone was a legitimate sponsor of a child, okay? And the way to
Yes, to
determine that
help
is not
with
just based upon
sex
DNA.
trafficking.
DNA is nor necessary, nor is it sufficient to establish that someone is the guardian of a child, okay? The way to establish whether or not someone's a guardian of a child is by having
To
legal
help
paperwork that demonstrates that. Because if you have
to
DNA,
help with
you
sex
also need legal
trafficking.
paperwork
Yes
on
or
top
no?
of that to determine that. So the
To help
DNA
with
rapid
sex
testing
trafficking.
is
Yes
an
or no?
invasive, costly process that is literally unnecessary.
Did the rapid DNA testing help with sex trafficking? Yes or no?
No, not at all. Like
Disagree.
literally not at all.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. We're just not gonna agree then.
Okay, but like you're not engaging with any of my points. Like any point I disagree with you, I give you the explanation for why I disagree with you. You don't engage with the argument at all. You stop arguing it and just say, "Oh, we just disagree." Like you
Well,
understand
I
why
gave
do
you
you
my
disagree?
reasons,
Like
but you
you have to
just don't care
understand
about the
why.
reasons.
What?
So I gave you my reasons. You just don't give a shit about them. You just throw them
You
away and
didn't
stick
provide
with your
reasons. I
narrative.
already responded to those.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think you should just go back and watch all of Charlie Kirk's videos and learn from him on how to be a better debater and more respectful. You and
Wow,
all your other
wow. So
people
like
like you
you're
that
just
do
gonna
it.
say this instead of actually acknowledging anything I just said. I dog walk Charlie Kirk. You say he's more respectful. He was not respectful to me. He called me deranged. You keep bringing that up. We've already responded and talked about this. How about you go watch my videos and watch me debate? Because maybe then you'll learn how to actually meaningfully engage in a conversation intellectually.
I have watched you, but
You should watch me more
I'm
then.
I'm not like you. I don't sit behind a computer 24/7 and take in all this massive amount of information that I just memorize off the top of my head.
You say that
I'm
like it's
just
a
here.
bad thing. You say like
I'm
me
just
being
here.
you say
Look.
me studying like it's a bad thing.
So the difference here is you
You actually
guys.
studied for the test? What the hell, bro? I'm just going at it with nothing, dude. I didn't study at all, man. Why did you even study, bro? I know that my grade's gonna be so much more dog shit than yours, but like, why did you even study, bro?
See,
You want
I'm
to?
just up here. I'm just up here, just trying to have a respectful conversation. You know, I'm not. I'm not one of them ones that are like you, or I'm behind a computer 24/7, and I'm got all this
Yeah, yeah.
information off
You're
the top of
you're
my head to
literally
engage
trying
with
to
you. So
disrespect me
perfect.
by saying that I studied. I
You
don't
may
sit
study,
behind
but it might
a
not be
computer all
respectful.
day like you and study and memorize things all day. That's what you're saying to me, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I'm sorry, that's not an argument against anything I've said.
even though you do all that studying and you're good at like making your and saying your words like this, doesn't make you respectful.
Okay. And me being disrespectful to you doesn't mean I'm wrong. You can say I'm disrespectful, but you can't say I'm wrong.
I'm just saying the way you're disrespectful. Okay, compared to Charlie Kirk, that's a bad thing in my eyes. You guys are not good faith debaters. You're not respectful. You know,
I am good
that's
faith,
what I think.
and I am mostly respectful. Are there circumstances where I'm disrespectful? Absolutely. Same thing's true for
Yes,
every other
and
person on the planet.
there's some where you're disrespectful to people that are even trying to be nice to you. I've seen that.
Okay. And I don't think you'd be able to give me any specific example. And I think it's very unlikely that it happens. And if that would happen, I would think it's wrong for
Well,
me to do that.
yeah, I don't go through your videos and just saving
And if that
myself.
happens, I would think it's wrong for me to do that. Now, can you actually engage meaningfully with what I'm saying instead of just saying, I'm not going to consider what you're saying because you're disrespectful? Like, realistically, like, thank you for the virtue signaling. I don't give a shit. You just
So,
justified Donald Trump doing that. You literally said it was justified for him to be disrespectful to liberals because they're liberals. That's what you said
so
earlier in this conversation.
you
So
acknowledge
honestly,
that
I don't
you
give a
acknowledge that
flying
you're
dude. How about you just
you
cope, dude? You want a baby bottle? Do you need
you
a baby
acknowledge
bottle?
that
Because you
you
don't give a
acknowledge
flying when they're disrespectful to us. So why should I give a shit when we're disrespectful
you
to you?
hold on, you just acknowledge that you're disrespectful to people like
I
that.
absolutely am. I've
There you
already
go.
acknowledged that.
There you go. You're exposing yourself then.
Okay, but you acknowledged that it was okay for Trump to be disrespectful to liberals because they're liberals. So how about you cry yourself
Probably
a
because
river?
they're
How about you
massively
go grab a baby
disrespectful to
bottle
them first,
and
judging your
actually
guys' track
acknowledge that
record.
you're holding us to a standard that you would not hold yourself or or the people you support to?
So, judging your guys' track record, if I was Donald Trump and you guys come at me with all your garbage and what you guys do to disrespect people, you don't think like he would come back with something at all? You just want him to take it all in like a champ?
Dude, he's
Is that what you want?
disrespected us before we disrespected him. What are you talking about?
Disagree. Your guys' side is just so disrespectful.
Like, I'll give you examples.
Look at all the violent riots from your side, all the disrespect on all
How
these
about this?
lives that
Do you
floods
think
TikTok.
do you
You know,
think
I
that
think, hold on, I
do
ain't
you think
done.
Tucker Carlson was disrespectful to Trump?
You guys are so unappreciative, I think, on this app. You know,
Of
given the
what?
fact that
Of like
Donald
Trump
Trump,
pardoning violent rioters, of calling for the execution of Democrats, of him calling for the termination of the
ungrateful is the
Constitution.
word I'm looking for. Ungrateful, sorry.
I'm ungrateful for how much he's fucked up this country.
No, you're ungrateful because you get the privilege to make money on this app that Trump saved for you.
This app would exist either way because if there was a deal that got done under the Republican administration with Trump in office, there
I don't,
definitely would have been a deal under a Democratic
I don't
administration.
know if I
And
believe that,
also, by the way,
honestly,
I
because
have
look
nearly
at,
4,000 people listening to me on YouTube. I
hold
have
on,
500,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 1.3 million followers on Instagram. I would be fine either way. My largest platform is my Instagram, not my TikTok.
good for you, but a lot of people on here on this app making money on it, and they're ungrateful, just 24/7 and
Yeah,
hating the
I'm not
country.
going to be grateful to a lunatic in the Oval
Should
Office
be
that literally tries to destroy our country from within.
should be at
Absolutely
least
not.
grateful. Can you agree that you're grateful that you get to make money on this app because of Trump? Because he saved it for you, and
Not
I don't
because of
believe that the
Trump. Nope, Trump
Democrats.
didn't save shit. Trump
I
didn't
don't
save
think
jack shit. He put it at risk in the first place, and
given.
inevitably it would have got a deal under the Democratic administration as well. If Trump got a
Hold on,
deal, the Democrats would have got a deal as well.
hold on. My rebuttal to that would be looking at the Democratic uh, track record. You know, the way that they like to cancel people and cancel culture. I
Trump
think,
literally
in my
calls
opinion,
Marjorie Taylor Greene Marjorie Trader Greene because she wanted the release of the Epstein files. You guys support him engaging in cancel culture all the time.
okay. Now you're bringing up Epstein files.
Yeah.
Let me just go back. Let me
Yeah,
go back to the
and
point.
literally
Wait,
Marjorie Taylor Greene is called Marjorie Trader Greene by Trump now, and he's completely eviscerated her from the movement simply because of the fact that she wanted the Epstein files to be released. Who's cancel culture now, buddy?
what are you talking about? Trump
That's
released the
cancel
files.
culture. That is objectively
Dude,
cancel
no,
culture. Based
no.
upon your arguments, if you consider that cancel culture, it absolutely is.
You guys mute and block people all the time. That right there to me is canceling.
Mute and
That's what
block
you guys
people. So,
do.
so by the way, I block people who come up on my live that aren't debating me. I block people who say slurs. I mute people who say
Well,
slurs. Okay? If
it's
you get
good.
muted and blocked in my stream, you have to either be spamming, saying slurs, or doing something unhinged. Okay? If
I'm not
you
gonna.
like literally
I'm not
typical stuff
saying
is allowed in
slurs.
my chat.
I'm
What?
not saying slurs.
Yeah, you're not. You didn't get muted or blocked.
Right. But I'm just saying, other people do. You guys. You
Yeah,
guys.
because they're unable to have a conversation meaningfully. They're acting like a child. They are slurring. They are doing a bunch of crazy shit, or they're not debating me. Those are the only contexts. Like actually. And like, I'm not canceling you by not allowing you up on my stream, right? Because you're debating me or something. That's a ridiculous thing of cancel culture. Trump is actually engaging in cancel culture when he removes a person that was literally fundamentally a part of his movement, like the whole time, like almost 100%, simply just because they made one slight disagreement. That's what cancel culture is. You can have
What
disagreements. You
disagreement
can
did you
kick
have?
people off, and that's not cancel culture. What is
What
cancel
disagreement
culture
did you
is
have?
completely eviscerating them out of the movement for one slight little disagreement that wasn't even meaningful.
What
Like
was the
literally, the
disagreement?
wanting of release of the Epstein files is something that Trump ran on in the first place.
What disagreement did she have?
What'd you say?
What disagreement did she have against him that made him do that?
Because she wanted the release of the Epstein files.
When was that? I don't recall that.
Yeah, like this was like literally like less than a few months ago. Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about this herself.
Dude, Trump released the files. Your
Nope,
party didn't.
nope. 3 million files haven't been released still, even though he's legally obligated to release
Oh
them.
God,
And by the way,
three
it's because he
million,
was
three
legally
million
forced to do
files,
so
man.
by Thomas Massey, Ro Khanna, and Congress.
Do you think? Okay, 3 million pages. Let's say I put 3 million pages on your desk right now, and then I
If you
ask you if
legally
you're
forced me to release them, I would have to release them. That's not me choosing to release them. That's me being
okay.
legally forced to release them.
Well, you have to redact it, protect the victims. So
Yes,
if I
and they
put,
didn't even do that.
oh, you're cutting me off. I
Sorry, I
put three
apologize.
million
I'll be
pages
quiet.
on your desk right now, and I tell you you got a week, but you can't release them unless it's properly redacted. Otherwise, the victims might get exposed. Okay, you think you're gonna be able to do that? So you guys are crying like, "Oh my God, we got to release all the files right now," but it's gonna take some time, man. All the files are gonna get released. You'll be able to look at them all. You know, Donald Trump's administration is the one that directly released them. Uh, for some reason, it was never attempted under your guys's, the Biden and Harris.
Okay, so the Trump administration said they're done in releasing them, even though they have more than 3 million still to release. They also specifically, in order to get it passed, in order to be able to release them, they needed congressional legislation. There wasn't enough support for congressional legislation to get passed under the Biden administration. Plus, it was only able to be released after 2024 because it was sealed up to 2024. So absolutely, I think those are the reasons why not. Now, absolutely, I think there should have been more of a push within the context of the legislative branch to release it. No one's disputing that. But given that there has been a thing to release it, this is how we do it. Again, but I just want to clarify, without legislation to release it, I don't think that they could have released it based upon the policy of the Department of Justice. There needed to be legislation or some type of address to release it in the first place.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. Like you guys, it's just never enough. I mean, this administration released the files. You got the files. You got what you can look at
No,
now.
3 million haven't been released, even though he's legally obligated to release all of them.
Yeah, probably because they have to redact them.
You understand they didn't redact them. And also, by the way, they said they're done releasing them, meaning that they're not going to release any more even redacted versions of it. And by the way, they even made mistakes on the redactions on the ones that they even sent out. And if they don't
Yeah,
have enough
because
people in the federal government to redact all the files in the time that Donald Trump signed the bill in order for him to release, then they probably should stop firing people from the federal government because they fired too many people to actually fulfill the tasks that they're legally obligated to do. Plus, again, the whole idea that Trump's trying to release the files is absurd because, again, he calls Marjorie Taylor Greene a literal traitor. He canceled her from the movement, cancel culture, simply because she wanted the release of the Epstein files. That is cancel culture. Stop saying that we're the proponents of cancel culture when actively you support a guy that fundamentally upholds cancel culture to a greater extent than any Democratic candidate you could mention in the modern era. Name me a single Democratic candidate that's ever done something like that.
so recently she did that and he got rid of her for it. So if she was trying to
You
get the
can't.
release
You
of the
can't tell
three
me a single
million,
example. That's not possible.
repeat it. Sorry.
Can you name a single example at all of a Democrat doing that?
I mean, I'm sure if I go do some research, I would be able to find something, but I don't have a computer in front of me
You
right
wouldn't
now.
be able to. There is no Democratic candidate that's done that in the modern era. That's why I'm
I'll
asking that question.
just take your word for it then.
Okay, but like this
That's
is
what
a
you got to do.
blatant obvious example. Okay, if you can acknowledge that this is an example, right? Clearly, then you should stop supporting Trump if you care so much about cancel culture. You clearly don't care about that, and if cancel culture serves your interests, you're okay with it.
How is he canceled? I don't see how he is.
He calls her a traitor and completely eviscerated her from the movement because she wanted the release of the Epstein files. Hell, he did it with Candace Owens. Hell, he did it with Alex Jones. Hell, he did it with Tucker Carlson. Hell, he did it with literally multiple members of his own party.
I remember the part where Donald Trump, like the members voted on releasing the files or something like that, and then like one of the Republicans or a couple like didn't, and then Donald Trump was like, "Well, why is that?" So then he went out of his way to have the files released.
No, 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 no.
All
He said
right.
he was asked an interview question. Would you release the JFK files? He said yes. Would you release the MLK files? He said yes. Then they asked, would you release the Epstein files? And he said, yeah, I will. So he essentially had to run on this thing that he would release them, and so like that's like a part of his campaign. People took that as like, oh, Trump's gonna release the Epstein files. He's gonna stand up for the survivors, right? Things like that. That the liberals aren't doing, for example. That's what they said. And then Trump gets into office, and then he clearly is trying to prevent the release because he calls Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor when she wanted the release of the Epstein files, and he actively said that people specifically who want the Epstein files to be released are literally not his supporters anymore, and he doesn't want them supporting him, and that the Epstein files are a hoax. That's what he said.
What I'll give to you that is he released the files. Plain and simple.
Not all of them. He released
Almala.
3 million. He did not release 6 million, which is the six
Well,
million is the entirety of it.
okay, still a valid argument. He released it. Whatever's there now, he released it.
So they
Your
didn't
part
release
didn't.
the incriminating files, but they did release some of the files that weren't incriminating, and they tried to scrub the files that they left in there that still did kind of incriminate Trump.
All right. Is there anything incriminating against Donald Trump in the files?
Yes, he was credibly accused by a minor in the Epstein files who got a settlement with the Epstein estate, and the DOJ tried to scrub the interviews associated with the allegations. They still haven't released the
Or, as
conclusions associated with the interviews.
far as I was concerned, there was nothing credible. He's not criminally charged. A lot of
Okay,
the
if there
stuff
was nothing
is like
credible, then why didn't
a
they
lot of the
release
stuff.
the conclusions of the interviews?
Probably because there wasn't credible evidence. He didn't get.
But they
It
did so with
wasn't.
all the other scenarios that they said weren't
It
credible.
wasn't. It wasn't credible enough. It got thrown out because like it probably was. Oh, it was like yeah, not nothing credible. So he didn't get charged criminally. You know, the FBI. Anybody could just go on there and put
So
some
wait, have all the
bullshit
people in the Epstein
FBI.
files been held criminally responsible?
Have all the people in them been
Yeah, have
held
all the people who have been incriminated in the Epstein files been held criminally responsible yet?
No.
No? So an argument to say that he hasn't been held criminally responsible in the Epstein files is not an argument to say that he isn't incriminated in the Epstein files, because you agree with me that those individuals that are incriminated in the Epstein files have not been held accountable yet. That was a concession.
Well, the FBI is looked into the cases, and then
Yeah, and you
nothing
agreed that there were
credible.
people that were incriminated in the context of the Epstein files that have not been held criminally responsible yet.
I'm not sure on that, honestly.
Okay, so now you dispute that. There is no one in the files that is incriminated at all that hasn't been held criminally responsible yet.
Well, I'm sure there is. Yes,
There
I don't look
definitely
through
is.
all.
I can give you
I don't look
examples.
through all the Epstein files. I don't have enough time to be behind a computer that long to look at all that.
Okay, you don't have to look at all the files. Why do you keep saying that as a dispute to what I'm saying? Like, every single time I give you evidence or reason to believe otherwise, you're like, I'm not always behind a computer to see that. Right? Like, come on. I understand that
I
you're
don't.
not. I get that, but neither is everyone else who's in the stream. And yet they can understand an argument when I provide it. Like, you know, I think you can too. And I think you just realize that it makes your position look bad, and you just don't want to accept it because of that. And you're doing what's comfortable to you. Staying within your confirmation bias, right? Staying within your cognitive dissonance feels comfortable to you. I understand that. But what I'm telling you is that if you want what's best for your country, if you're actually a patriot for your country, you will stand on what's right for this country. Not what makes you feel good, what is actually truly right for this country.
think a lot of people would agree that what he's doing is right for the country, you know?
Can I ask you a question? If someone's been held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman or criminally convicted of sexually abusing someone, can we both say that it should be illegal for them to run for president of the United States?
Um, if it's actually, it's like actually, like look at the evidence of that. Do you think it was?
Dude, simple question. Like, can we both say, as Americans, as patriots, as people who love our country, that if someone's held civilly liable of sexually abusing someone or criminally convicted of sexually abusing someone, it should be illegal for them to run for president of the United States? I believe in that. I think everyone, regardless of political affiliation, should as well.
Yeah, I could agree with that, but
Oh, okay.
if,
So then it would be illegal for
hold on,
Trump to run for president of the United States, meaning you shouldn't
hold on,
support Trump, right?
hold on, I'm not done. So, our response to that would be the law is broken for sure. I don't like the evidence in that case. I don't particularly think that it was credible enough. I think it was just a money grab by Eugene Carroll. Uh, she waited 20 years right before election time.
Wait, let me ask you this question. If it's a money grab, why did she wait? Like, actually, it makes sense that she waited if this happened to her, of course, given that this did happen to her, right? Because of victims, it takes them decades to come out. But under your view, it doesn't make sense that E. Jean Carroll would have waited in that context because she told her friends decades ago, which they testified on in court, right? Why would she hold on to that for decades rather than just going after him then, right? If it was the case that she was trying to make money from it.
Let's just look at the possibilities. So, say if she did make it up, she got the friends to agree, okay, and then a man of Trump's status, rich, they go and attack him because they can, and they win the case with some bullshit civil lawsuit with evidence that isn't very good, in my opinion. I think the law is broken, in my opinion, honestly, and I personally don't think he did it.
Okay. Dina, did you want to say something real quick?
Why would he say that he wouldn't her because she isn't his type if he wasn't a racist? That sounds like something that only racists would say. I feel like non would say, I wouldn't rape her because rape is wrong.
But didn't she said herself that rape is sexy?
No,
No.
she didn't. Um, how much money do you want to bet on that claim? I feel like getting rich today. How about your life savings?
I
How
did
much
that with
do
the
you
last
say?
guest, and they didn't want to bet me on that. Or
Ah,
actually, they did
damn.
bet me on it, and then they didn't want to give me the money. That's what I meant to say.
Well,
She she said that in her book, didn't she, or something?
No, to correct you, you're misquoting a clip of her speaking to Anderson Cooper on CNN. What she was saying is that what happened to her wasn't sexual, wasn't sexy. It was very violent and harmful, and it hurts. And then Anderson Cooper said, well, I think a lot of people don't think it is sexy, but rather think of it as violent and harmful. And then she responded by saying, no, I think that a lot of people think of it as sexy. And that's wrong, because it's not sexy. Point number one, I don't think it's descriptively true that 51% of Americans think it's sexy. But point number two, I think that when you are a victim, you are going to build your experiences in the world around us while maintaining a hypervigilance towards those that would say is sexy because you're a victim and you obviously know it isn't. That angers you, it pisses you off, it invalidates your experiences. So it would make sense why a victim would come to that assumption. Now, an analogy to describe to you what she said to Anderson Cooper and CNN would be like an 85-year-old black person who grew up during segregation, where racism was so normalized, just about every white person believed in it very highly. Imagine that they're sitting down on CNN and they said, racism is not funny, racism is a really big issue. And then Anderson Cooper responded by saying, well, I think a lot of people think that racism is a really big issue. Well, because this person grew up during segregation and has built their version of reality around just how truly racist the world is, if they were to respond by saying, no, I think that a lot of people think that racism is funny, racism is important, racism is normal, racism is what we should believe in. Okay, well, clearly our takeaway wouldn't be that they think racism is funny. Our takeaway wouldn't be that they think racism is normal, but rather our takeaway would be that they're condemning racism and calling out those that don't. Very similar to how Eugene Carroll was condemning the notion that rape is sexy and calling out those who don't.
Uh, well, she accused like a bunch of other people of it too.
No, the one other man that she's accused of would be the ex-CEO of CBS, who she said essentially her in an elevator. And unfortunately, there's many more women than just Agent Carol who have more than one story to tell.
Could you acknowledge that maybe possibly the law is broken and if something like this could possibly happen if it wasn't true? And if somebody did take advantage of it?
There's a non-zero chance, okay, that Agent Carol was lying. The same way there's a non-zero chance that unicorns live on the moon. All right? But just because there's a non-zero chance of that happening, we shouldn't believe that she was lying due to the fact that all of the evidence points towards the contrary.
Okay, so let's look at all the evidence of that case. And then if you ask a certain percentage of people to like look into it to see if they think it's credible, do you think maybe like some open-minded people might be able to look at it differently and think maybe possibly the law could be broken and have the
Like a jury,
possibility
maybe?
that somebody... I can't hear you. Are you
Like
muted?
like a jury, maybe?
I don't hear you, Parker.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I muted myself. Like a jury, maybe?
Or, yeah. Or like a... So the scenario of it happening to anybody else, can you agree that maybe the law could be broken? Somebody could just
That's
take
literally the point.
advantage or something
That's
like
literally
that.
the point of a jury. The point of a jury is to collect like 9 to 12 open-minded people who are willing to operate based on the facts, not their own bias, to then evaluate the evidence to see if it points towards a conclusion or not. So when we did that, process, everybody agreed that he's guilty.
All right. So the jury... Okay, wasn't it happened in New York, right? Or where was
Yeah.
it? Okay, so you think the jury might have been... Or do you think that the jury could have been like favored to
No.
the left?
No, because
Like
point
how
number
many
one.
how many jurors in there were Democratic, you think, or the judge?
So there's a damn near statistical
Or how about
certainty.
changing the law just to bring the case about
So there was a statistical
in a
probability.
New York Democratic state?
So there was a statistical probability that if you were to grab a random group of 9 people off of the streets of New York, that at least 2 of them would be MAGA, Republican, or Trump supporters. So in consideration of the fact that all 9 jurors ruled Donald Trump's guilt, this would include at least 1 to 2 people who are Republicans or independents. So in consideration, that's just the political makeup of the section of New York that this court case was held in. It's around 70 to 80% Democratic. Now, my second point here will be is that then when we also consider the jury selection process that involved Donald Trump's lawyers, it becomes even more likely that more of the jurors were Republican or right-leaning, or at the bare minimum, most of the jurors don't really have a formed political opinion or were able to operate without bias, because clearly that's something they'd weed out.
Yeah, one of them watched Tim Pool and called him center.
You're muted again, Parker.
Do you think that there could have been a
Sorry, I keep doing this because there's like a
that-
little bit of feedback. There was one of them that watched Tim Pool and called him center, apparently.
Wait, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
So you don't think it could have been possible that they changed the law in New York specifically to bring the case about, and it could have been possibly one-sided narrative and majority
Listen.
of everybody that hated Trump?
So they didn't change the law for Eugene Carroll. It was actually changed for victims of church fathers. But even if they did, I would support it. And I'd support that for a Democrat too. Let's just take like Eric Swalwell, for instance. So he has 5 credible accusations against him. Now, if somebody like Gavin Newsom, or let's imagine that the governor was a Republican, advocated to change the state law to allow for the prosecution of Eric Swalwell because his accusers say that these events unfolded 30 years ago prior to the statute of limitations, I'd actually support that because I think that it's really important for our representatives to have good moral character, because I think that with good moral character comes the ability to genuinely care about others. And you have to genuinely care about others to properly govern a country. And it also comes with a higher level of accountability because you're accountable to millions of constituents. Therefore, you should be able to hold yourself accountable to a higher level than those millions of constituents. So that's why I'm totally okay with changing the law to allow for legal, lawful prosecutions, a prosecution of genuine crimes in consideration to due process. All right, that is just about as democratic as it could get to prosecute Donald Trump for these crimes that he's committed. Is to, instead of going on a witch trial and prosecuting him on Twitter saying that we know he's guilty, we know he's guilty, we know he's guilty, we do it the proper legal way, which is to change the law if need be, which didn't happen in this court case, to then ensure that Donald Trump had his day in court, right to defense, and right to due process.
Okay, so could could you acknowledge then if the law could possibly be broken? Okay, and one person that could interpret it in a different way like this and look at everything that happened and the way it did right around election time and how and with the evidence of that and the way they did it, do you think somebody could just look at it and interpret it a different way?
No. Eric Swalwell's credible accusations came out a month before the election, and I fully think that he did it and that I'm happy he dropped out. I don't care that they dropped right before election time. And in fact, I understand why they dropped right before election time. Because
Yep.
they wanted to ensure that he didn't win the election because he's probably right. Like honestly, I think that the Eric Swalwell allegations really kind of put that argument that Trump supporters have been making for years now in frame for me, and it really just shows that there's a difference between me and you. That difference would be is that I genuinely care about victims, and I understand why victims wouldn't want to be in power, even if it means dropping the allegations right before the election, because now they're genuinely scared that they're could be in power because we're so close to it. They're running high in the polls, and it's
Yep.
no longer this figment of their imagination that is distant way off in the future. If they win the nomination, if they get on the ticket, if they get the support from the people, if they get the official endorsements from other politicians. And it's right now, we're 30 days away from the election. We have to drop these allegations so they drop out or lose. So even if that's exactly what E. Jean Carroll did, it wouldn't change a damn thing.
And also, do you see the difference in how like we respond versus how you guys have responded? Like how like someone that was deemed as on the left or on the Democratic side, and how the same type of things that were applicable to them, how we responded to those scenarios versus how you guys have responded to it being true about Trump.
Well, just quick correction. It's actually not the same thing because he hasn't been found guilty in a court.
That's true. That's true. I meant like I was meaning like, for example, with the scenario that like someone came out right prior to like an election or came out after an election or something like that, where they always bring up that specific terminology of like, oh, it's been this amount of time after, or it's because he's in office now. They're trying to go after him. But like if that claim specifically were true in situations in which we're referencing with Democrats, Democrats are more likely to call that out, more likely to believe the survivors. And like that's how you guys should respond too. And like the fact that you guys don't respond that way is really sad. And we want to create a society where this isn't going to be prevalent on either side. This is why I said if someone's been held civilly liable of sexually abusing someone or criminally convicted of sexually abusing someone, it should be illegal for them to run for president of the United States. And that should not be a controversial statement to you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Do you understand me? Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, so do you understand like where we're coming from?
Sure.
What are your thoughts about what we've said?
Mm, I don't know. I don't really have nothing else. I don't think. My phone's getting ready to die anyway.
Is there anything Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Yes, if there was actually hard evidence of something that comes out and criminally charges him, yes.
There's hard evidence of him sexually exploiting beauty pageant contestants. The hard evidence would be his admission of guilt.
So you're talking about the Howard Stern thing or whatever?
Yes, the standard of evidence you asked for, which is hard, undeniable evidence, has already been met. And I am referring to the Howard Stern clip.
But I know you guys like to say for that clip, I personally don't like it either myself, but you guys like to say
is it hard
locker
evidence
room,
of him sexually
locker room
exploiting?
and locker room and what else or not locker.
Listen,
yeah,
just
locker
answer my
room and
question. Is it
changing
hard
room.
evidence of him sexually exploiting beauty pageant contestants?
I'd have to hear the video.
Well, I mean, Parker, you want to pull it up real quick?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
And
What you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
so you have done that. Now tell
Well,
me.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So he said backstage and then getting dressed. So you think
Yeah, and
You
they had
think
no
they-
clothes on.
it didn't say that in the video, did it?
Yeah, he did. He said no clothes on. He said they're standing there with no clothes. And he also said that there were no men in there. He also said that he's getting away with it. So what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know.
well, if your thoughts aren't okay, I can't be a Trump supporter anymore, then you actually lied to Parker when you told Parker that you would stop supporting Trump if there was hard, undeniable, irrefutable evidence of him engaging in sexual violence. So obviously the next question would be well, why did you lie?
How do you know it was the teen pageant though? Wasn't it the adult pageant?
Oh,
So,
wait. Nobody's claimed teens. Now, do I claim that this happened to teens in typical when running my lives? Yes. Am I claiming that right now? No, because age is completely irrelevant. At the end of the day, regardless if he did it to women and girls or just women, it's still sexual exploitation, and this is still our damning evidence of therefore sexual violence. So we're not going to go over the additional evidence to demonstrate that it happened to the girls, which would be their testimony, because that might give you an easy avenue out to deny it's hard evidence because it's just the testimony of the victim, which we already know you dispute as non-hard evidence due to the conversation we just had about E.G. and Carroll. So don't even mention their age. Have we provided you hard evidence that he sexually exploited anybody, regardless of their age?
So why don't you stop supporting Trump? You said that if there was hard evidence of this, you would stop supporting him. We've provided you hard evidence of it. Now can you acknowledge that you don't support Trump?
No, because he doesn't give a doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Dean, he said earlier that I'm not a patriot and I hate this country, and people like me and you just spread propaganda to the masses and lies because we want murderers to be brought into our country to women and children.
Ironic.
No, I said you guys expressed disrespect and hate.
That
Dude.
too.
Yeah, your president
Oh.
threatened to genocide 90 million people, praised Allah, attacked the Pope, and then today claimed to be God. Like, what the hell? What the hell?
Dean, he
dude?
also said she said we should be sued for the fact that we are defaming Trump, or defamating Trump.
Oh, cute. I assume you brought up that that's already happened and failed.
Yeah, technically Trump already lost the defamation case. So like I said, take it against me, I'll win.
Yeah,
because
honestly,
he technically already lost it.
I would love for Trump to sue me for defamation. It just give me so much more notoriety, and then I'd be able to like influence the opinions of so many people. And then ultimately, I'd win the lawsuit. How many people can say that they've won a lawsuit against Donald Trump? That's awesome, man. I wish he'd sue me.
What'd you say?
Can you both? Okay, actions speak louder than words, and I don't think either one of you are a patriot. And I want you, or can you explain how you guys think you both are, considering what do you guys do that actually benefits society? So
Yeah,
I've
fight for
already
this
explained
country
this one to you,
every day.
Dean. If you want to go for it.
I
Donald
fight
Trump,
for this country and the people in it on a daily basis.
by spreading disrespect and hate, you think that's helpful? That's not dividing?
By spreading reasonable critical thought, which in many scenarios concludes that we should hold contempt towards a hateful man.
I think, Dean, you're definitely probably the most disrespectful one out of all of them, and the amount of disrespect and hate that you spread.
Okay, quite frankly, cry about it.
Well, what do you actually do for society? What do
I
you
already
do
told you
about
this. We get
society?
people to critically think. We get people to be politically engaged. We get people to have conversations and discussions, right? We get people to gain more knowledge about these topics. And through that involvement, it creates a better society because we have more people that are going to be involved in politics that are genuinely trying to find the truth and genuinely going to understand things to a greater extent than what would have existed otherwise if we didn't engage in this. Literally
Well, I
thousands
think
of people every single day. There's over 12,000 people listening to the stream right now on TikTok and YouTube. We're influencing people to the tunes of tens of thousands at every single concurrent moment, every single day on our live stream. Of course that's going to be positive. Of course that's going to be beneficial at making society a better place. You claim that you only see the disrespect and the hate, but have you really even seen much of this disrespect and much of hate? You can't even give me specific examples. There are a lot more examples of me specifically giving you better arguments, good reasoning, right, and explanations than there is me being disrespectful. And if you're going to hyperfixate on me being disrespectful to say that I don't actually have any positive benefit on society, that's going to tell me that you're immature, that you're unable to acknowledge the gains that other people get just because they politically disagree with you. And you would, by the way, be able to acknowledge it if I agreed with you. If I was a Republican, if I was a Trump supporter, you'd be on my live stream agreeing with me and being so happy I'm in that position. Why do you think that you say that about Charlie Kirk? Why do you think that you say that about all those other Republicans that are disrespectful, have said disrespectful things? And if you specifically branded them by the most disrespectful moments in which they would be specifically engaging in, well then clearly you could say that that's true about them as well.
if you're a Republican and if you depicted yourself the way you do now, I would not support you.
What
Yes,
if I
you would.
What if I depicted
No.
myself to be God? How about that, buddy?
He'd
guys-
still keep supporting them.
You
buddy,
guys are
buddy,
just
buddy.
gonna
If
twist
I
that too.
literally depicted myself to be God and I was a Republican, would you continue to support me?
He's Jesus. He's actually Jesus.
No,
You
not
guys-
even Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
No, not Jesus. Jesus. I'm talking straight from the Christian Bible. If I claim to be Jesus Christ, would you stop supporting me?
You guys are just twisting it. It's just
Can you
an
answer my
artistic
question? Quite
expression.
frankly.
You haven't answered my question yet about how you guys are actually beneficial to society,
okay,
because
so
I've
you're not gonna
provided
answer the
my
question.
argument where you guys just spread hate and disrespect, and that's proof and on video. And
Okay,
I think if you guys
thank you.
want more people,
Thank you.
to-
Now, can you answer my question? If
If
I
you
was a
want-
Republican and I claimed to be Jesus Christ, would you continue to support me?
if you actually want to have people follow you and get a lot of good people, then you need to do it better. I think you need to not
Okay.
be so
Thank you for the
disrespectful.
input. Now, if I was a Republican and I claimed to be Jesus Christ, would you continue to support me?
If it wasn't in a way to express divinity or to deceive. So with that
Wait, by the
picture,
way,
I
but
think
if it
you
wasn't to
just
express divinity, by the way, that's what Trump was doing.
artistic-
Also, yeah, by the way, this is
artistic
Dean. This is what he said earlier. He said it's artistic expression.
Yeah, artistic expression of what?
So historically, people can do an artistic expression picture of Jesus.
What is it in
different ways.
artistic expression of?
What do you mean?
I think you know what I mean. You're saying that it's an artistic expression. Well, artistic expressions are supposed to express something, right? So what is it artistically expressing?
So I think what he's artistically expressing on it is like a way for faith. Like people might believe in them, people might something like that.
Dude,
It's not like
you understand that this is textbook blasphemy then? He is artistically expressing divinity and faith in God
Actually,
by putting
Dean-
his face on God's.
Actually, Dean, he's actually a Red Cross member, healing a sick person. Did you know
oh,
that?
can,
Did you
Yeah, I
see
did.
that? That's the justification that he came out with.
Yeah,
Can you-
I just sat down
hold
with Stephen Smith on his show again, and we talked about
can
that.
you at
We'll
least
learn it.
acknowledge
We'll
that
learn
that Jesus can be used in an artistic expression in all different ways, and people do it?
Buddy,
It isn't meant
but
for
what you're
a
confusing here is that's not
deceiving
Jesus.
way?
That's Donald Trump. So you are accepting that Donald Trump is mocking Jesus by claiming to be Jesus in an artistic expression. No one mocks God. In fact, claiming to possess the divinity of God, even if it is a quote-unquote artistic expression, is still by definition blasphemy due to the fact in which it is another human claiming perfection through said expression, claiming divinity through said expression, and claiming to be God through said expression. In accordance with Christian theology, there is not one scenario where it is ever okay to claim yourself to be God.
my argument on that. But maybe he just did it to make all you guys mad. Think of that too. I bet
Okay,
that's what
yeah,
did.
so he trolled the liberals by committing blasphemy,
Sure.
right?
Yes,
He
yes.
trolled the liberals by committing blasphemy, right?
I was like, that only makes sense if it's like a content creator or someone like me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense saying it's the Christian president of the United States. Trolled Trump, trolled liberal atheists, by the way, by committing blasphemy. Like, we
Dude.
give a shit, by the way.
Christian and you did that, you would still be committing blasphemy. Just like that is actually like if you affirm the Christian worldview, you cannot look at that as anything other than blasphemy.
Literally.
You guys are not actually giving me a good reason of why you both think you're a patriot and why you think you're
Because I
beneficial
don't
to
commit
society.
blasphemy.
Okay,
I don't
so
commit the one unforgivable
You
sin.
guys, okay. So over that, then the amount of disrespect
Over
and
the
hate,
one unforgivable sin.
the amount of disrespect and hate you guys spew to thousands of
Are
people
all
every
of those
day.
sins
wait, but all of our
How is
sins
that
that we've
actually
engaged in are
beneficial to
forgivable,
society?
though, right? So, like, I mean, at least it's better than an unforgivable sin that Trump committed, right?
So, okay, have both of
You can at least forgive us, right?
have both of you at least worked in a job that benefits society? Or have you
Yes,
guys
I'm doing it right now.
Oh
No,
my
not
God.
this. This doesn't count because you guys
Yeah, it doesn't count,
disrespect
buddy.
and spread
This
hate.
is a job that benefits society. What are you talking about? I'm currently fulfilling the job right now.
Well, with the way you guys are doing
If
it
you
now,
think
that's why
what
it's
Dean and
not
I do
legal.
is a job that benefits society, type 3 in the comment section.
Everybody in the chat, write down what they do for society. Put what employment they do that
Wait,
benefits.
I do
the
that. This is what. Wait, I already told you. I do this, and this benefits society, right? You
Not
you
very
think
beneficial,
you
I
think
don't
every
think.
once in a while I'm disrespectful does not mean I'm not beneficial for society.
You guys are disrespectful every single day, 24/7.
Okay,
On the
24/7. I'm just so everything I say is disrespectful.
That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I have a question. Have you ever done anything disrespectful before?
Not that I can think of.
Bro, you just defended blasphemy. Well, I guess, have you clarified that he's a Christian?
So you guys just like trapping people in this stupid shit.
Wait. Are you a Christian?
You can't think
No.
of anything disrespectful he's ever done.
Well, I mean, like, arguably.
Hold on, this is another example of what I'm gonna explain to you. This is an exact
When you just
scenario
interrupted
guys
Parker,
do.
that was disrespectful. Was that the first disrespectful
No, it's not
thing
because
you've
I'm a
ever
liberal,
done in your
Dean.
life?
You forgot that part of the. You didn't actually hear that part of the conversation. He said it was justified for Donald Trump to engage in disrespect because they're liberals that he's disrespecting.
Dude, where the f did you find this guy? What rock does he live
This
Holy
is
shit.
an example of what you guys do to people. You dehumanize them. You know, you try to
in?
make
Dude,
them
how
feel
are we?
dumb.
Dude, we're just calling you an idiot. Listen, calling you an idiot isn't dehumanizing you. It's just calling you an idiot. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you guys are so disrespectful and rude about it, so that's what I don't like. I think you guys
Okay.
So we're
Alright.
rude about calling you an idiot. So I mean,
Yeah, we're
unless you
so-
consider
so
an
rude.
idiot in of itself to be calling someone or to be rude, then you can't say that. How do you feel about Donald Trump calling Tim Walz and Kamala Harris the arsler?
I think the rude part about it is how you guys depict it and trap people into.
Wait, what?
Like,
Wait.
you trap-
How do you feel about Donald Trump calling Kamala Harris and Tim Walz the arsler?
Hold on, I ain't done yet. You guys trap people into.
Dude, he's just not
Freaking-
answering. Man, come on.
You trap people in hypotheticals and anecdotes all the time, and you try to dehumanize people. And it's not-
Unreal, bro. Answer his question.
You guys are unreal. You don't want to have. You don't want to have an actual like.
We
You
don't want to
know
have a
it's not
conversation.
real?
So how do you
Right.
feel about Donald Trump calling Kamala Harris and Tim Walz the arsler?
Calling them the what?
The arsler.
I don't know about that.
Well, he did that. So, given that he's done that, do you think that he's disrespectful and you shouldn't support him?
When did he do that? Where's
This
the
was like literally like 2 months ago, dude.
source? Is it on video or is it like a post?
Video, on video, yeah.
Well, can you guys at least acknowledge that I'm exposing both of you with how the way you guys?
No, you're not exposing
Thank
us.
you,
Now,
Joe.
can you engage with this point? Okay? How do you feel about Donald Trump calling them the arsler? Are you going to stop supporting him because of this? Because he's so disrespectful and that's what he's doing with what he's showing to society?
Call him the arsler.
Yeah, he called them the arsler. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't heard of that. I have to look into that.
So given that it's true that he has done this, would you stop supporting him?
Well, I don't know if it's true. I have to go look into it.
No, given that you
It's
did know
relevant.
that it was true, would you stop supporting him?
Well, I won't concede on it because I don't.
If
know.
I
have to
played
look
the
into
clip of him saying it right now, would you stop supporting him?
it. No.
Okay, so do you see what I mean? You see how it's such a double standard? How, again, you will apply this standard to us. But if Donald Trump does worse, you're okay with it. No big deal. You still support him.
I think Donald Trump's actions speak louder than words, and I think he's actually doing better stuff for the country than both of you.
So his actions, he's made fun of a disabled reporter, right?
You guys just, I can't do it. You guys are just.
Are you going to run away now?
No, I ain't gonna run away. I'm gonna respectfully just tell you my phone's about to die, and I gotta.
Respectfully tell you, now the phone's about to die randomly.
Well, I told you that like 20 minutes ago, didn't I?
And what happened? The phone didn't die?
Well, yeah, it's at 5% now.
Oh, you have plenty of
it's about to
time.
die.
Just wait. You have 5%. You're okay.
No.
5% stays there for a
No.
while. You said it was.
Both-
You said. I mean, you said like 30 minutes ago your phone was about to die.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, so it went from. Now I'm down to 5%.
Yeah,
It died.
which means if that 5% lasted that long, I think you have some extra time on the stream. Or like, how about this?
So-
Plug it in, maybe.
I don't have a charger by me right now.
Okay, well you still got 5%. Don't worry.
Are you guys gonna acknowledge that? What you guys do is completely disrespectful 95% of the time.
No, not 95% of the
Hating
time.
people
No.
With the way you guys talk to women. You guys.
Why do you
claim
keep
to-
saying like the way you guys talk to women? You couldn't even give a single example of how we talk to women that you thought was
There's
disrespectful or
plenty of
bad.
examples. I've watched plenty of.
Yeah, like
people
did we
you guys
call
are
women
so
pigs?
hateful
Did
and
we say
disrespectful.
quiet piggy in reference to women? Did we say that, or was that Trump?
And you guys call them much worse, vulgar names.
What did we say? Yeah, what did we say?
You guys call them verbal language. That's all I'll say.
Such as?
There's video evidence of that.
Such as?
Well, I'm not gonna get your TikTok banned or me. so
You
I'm
you
not
won't
gonna
get our
say-
TikTok banned by saying it.
Go back and watch your videos. And
No,
you'll
what
see
what
it
did we
comes
say?
out.
Like tell me, what specifically did we say? What verbal language?
Just the way you guys curse and.
We
spread bad
cursed.
language.
We used a swear word actually, chat.
And-
We
and
we
you-
said
No, you say much worse stuff than just.
What did we
that.
say then? What did we say?
I'll let you go figure it out yourself because you know.
Dude, I was there. I literally am the person who did it apparently. So tell me.
Yeah. Well, maybe not you, but.
Do I need to
both
put
of
some
us.
do I need to put some money in the swear jar or something?
So you guys will talk to women like that behind the screen.
What did we say? I don't even know what we said.
You guys are disrespectful to women all the time.
What did we say? What did we say?
Go back and look at your guys'
Be
videos.
specific. Give me one example.
I can't give you an example right now because I have to go and look through the kid. But you guys probably.
Hey, Dean, we're so disrespectful, but I can't give you a single example of you being so disrespectful. I can't even give you one specific example. Not a single one.
I'm sure if anybody in the chat that is not on your side, they could probably give some examples too.
Okay, so like the most example you could give is like maybe me or Dean calling someone stupid.
No, much worse than that. You guys say
much worse. I don't think we say much worse than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I don't want. What are you talking about? Give me an example.
Right,
what is the most?
I just came back. The examples that you could point to of us saying much worse than that is when we're like legit talking to like a sympathizer that argues it's okay to like prey on women and kids. And I don't think that it's wrong to say worse than that to sympathizers who argue it's okay to prey on women.
There was one panel where you had a woman up, and she was trying to be nice to you guys. You guys just completely dehumanized her and was completely disrespectful, calling her vulgar
Calling her what?
Calling her vulgar names.
Vulgar names. I don't know what these vulgar names are. What did we say?
You guys said bad words to her for no reason.
We said bad words, so we use swear words.
Oh wait, I stepped away. I stepped away. I'm picking up on like on context clues. Is he trying to argue that we're misogynistic?
No, he's just saying that we're disrespectful to women and that we say vulgar words. He first started with verbal language. We say verbal language to women.
Yes, you're gonna argue and say, well, we say
verbal language, Dean.
Vulgar language, but the way you guys
should play the Access Hollywood tapes.
Yeah, like we actually should. You know, he said it's okay for Trump to do it though.
Is it okay for Donald Trump to disrespect women?
Yep. He's gonna say yes. Watch.
Well, who did he call a pig?
What's the context?
Yeah, this guy's nuts. Listen, Parker, I appreciate you so much for having me up. I'm gonna go ahead and start my live. Feel free to join if you want.
Yeah, I probably will here in a bit.
All right. Thank you for having me up.
You didn't tell me why you think you benefit society.
Yeah, Dean, you don't benefit society at all. What the man?
I feel like it'd be exhausting. It'd take my energy, and ultimately it would be tedious and useless because you won't listen to a damn word I say.
You think you depicting hate and disrespect
Holy shit, bro.
in this way of your employment that you claim is beneficial to society? You think that's helpful to people?
Yes.
Okay, so how? I disagree.
Yeah, because it leads people to hold in better political opinions, be more like virtuous, upholding human rights, advocating for a greater tomorrow. When yesterday they didn't because they didn't know that.
Whenever you guys do it the way you do, though, it doesn't look good for your side if you compare to Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk was respectful in debates. And if you look at how your guys' side celebrated his unalivement, that doesn't look good also.
Right. Okay, I'm going to go start my live. Appreciate you for having me up, Parker. This guy's nuts.
Alrighty, man. I'll see you, bro.
Nuts.
Have a good
Take
stream.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah, look in the mirror, Dean. What, Dean? Look in the mirror.
I'll leave with this, but you guys say you claim that you protect women and children. That's incorrect because your guys' party of the last from 2020 to 2024 allowed millions of immigrants to come in, including the criminals to come.
Yeah. Again, you just like repeat the same bullshit you said earlier. Like you're gonna repeat the same. You're literally a broken record. Like genuinely. Factual. You're a broken record. You keep repeating the same thing over and over again. We've already deported individuals that have committed violent crimes and bad crimes. We agree with doing so. We want to do so. And the argument that we don't want to or that we want to let murderers go into the country is ridiculous when you literally want to be in the Oval Office.
You want
a literal war criminal in the Oval Office.
Your guys' president allowed them all to come in. Donald Trump's getting them out, plain and simple. You guys are ridiculous.
You are. You should get sued for defamation, right? Based upon your own argument.
Yeah, you should.
Or defamated. You're gonna get defamated.
Defamation.
You're gonna actually get a defamated charge, okay? A defamated charge, okay? You're getting that one. Yeah, and by the way, dude, you're gonna constantly spread propaganda, misinformation, and lies because they make you feel better, and because literally acknowledging that you're wrong is going to hurt your fifis and your tum tum.
Believe whatever you want, man.
And run away. Believe whatever you want. You're the one that has to sell yourself on
You're the one that
delusional
won't acknowledge
bullshit
that,
in
man.
order to
You're
keep
the one.
yourself in your ideological beliefs. I can actually acknowledge truth. I can actually use evidence. I can actually, believe things that are in accordance with reality, you know? You
You're
don't
the
believe
one that
things in
won't
accordance with
acknowledge
reality.
that
You have to
you're not
make up all these
beneficial to society.
propagandistic narratives in order to be able to actually hold to what you believe in. You literally had to say that Donald Trump was engaging in artistic expression when engaging in blasphemy. To try to
You're
act
the
like it's
one-
okay as a Christian yourself.
You're the one that won't acknowledge that you're not beneficial to society.
I
Go
am
do-
beneficial
go-
to society, and I've
No, you're
already
not.
explained how. All you've done up here on my live
No.
stream is just repeatedly say, "Oh my God, you're disrespectful. You've been engaging in verbal dialogue, in language."
Spreading-
Okay, Parker, how horrible! That's so bad for this country that you're engaging in conversations. Actually, please stop.
Your
You
videos.
think you think that disrespect and hate's so bad, but then you think it's totally justified to do it towards liberals. So you know what? How about Uno reverse card? We do it back to you, and then it's justified. You know?
You guys
Uno reverse
always
card, you
so
know? Like, I'm
hateful.
just like, that's all I'm doing is hitting that Uno reverse card.
Why don't you go get an actual job that benefits?
This is an
society?
actual job. Why don't you acknowledge that? Can
No,
you
it ain't.
define a job, actually? What is a job?
Being employed for something that helps.
I am employed.
Society.
I'm self-employed. Did you know that?
Yeah,
I have a
self-employed.
successful business.
Right, in the wrong way. Disrespecting
But-
and hating on everybody.
Wait, so it is a
dividing.
job. So you said get a real job. This is a real job. Do you think I'm a grifter, too?
Yep.
Yep, so I'm dishonest. So you actually think I'm a Trump supporter? What? By the way, thank you everyone for supporting the fake job. I wouldn't be able to come in here every single day and do this without everyone supporting my fake job. My fake job, actually. I love being unemployed. I love getting those unemployment checks. You know what I mean? We get those unemployment checks all the time.
There's a difference between making valuable content that people enjoy versus spreading disrespect and hate and division in the country. So therefore, you're not beneficial.
Yeah,
to
there is a
society.
difference, and I'm benefiting this country. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very
You're
much.
not by-
Just like
not
how
by
thank you for the
spreading
$5 for
disrespect
please
and
ask him
hate.
what does he contribute to society. Very true.
I actually do a job that benefits society.
What do you do?
Believe it or not, I'm involved in moving freight. Runs the country.
People who move freight do nothing for society. Absolutely nothing, actually. Get a real job, buddy, actually. You move
Okay.
freight, that's nothing, actually. Absolutely
What about-
nothing. If you're not
Hang on a
doing
second.
anything other than freight, then you're not doing anything, actually.
Hang on a
Freight
second.
people who work on the freight, they have no job. Fake job.
Hey.
Not a
Hang on a
real
second.
job, actually. How about you go get a real job, buddy?
Where did you get that shirt from? The chair, the headphones you're wearing.
I've had this since high school. My mom probably got it from me, like, as a kid.
Okay, well, something that you bought. Where did you
This?
go get it from?
Yeah, where did I get it from? The store?
Yeah, where'd you get it from? What store? Or where did you buy it online?
This? Like, I went to, what are they called? Radio Center? Oh, fuck, I can't even remember the name of the
Yeah.
company.
How do you think it got there before you disrespect the freight or me moving freight?
Oh, dude, it didn't come through freight. It teleported.
Oh, sure thing. So before you disrespect the people that move freight, I want you to think about that, because what if all the truckers just shut down for one day? You know how big of a
Everything would
crisis
just
that could be?
teleport there. What are you talking about?
No. See, that's ridiculous, dude.
No, dude, dude, it would just teleport there. What are you talking about? Like, you think that it wouldn't get there? It would still get there.
No.
You don't need trucks. You don't need roads. You don't need cars. You don't need to transport anything. We have technology, dude. We can just teleport things.
Yeah, sure thing. In your freaking fantasy world.
No, dude, this is real life, man. The more that you deny it, the more that it's gonna be true. Okay. Actually, everything, dude, it just
Alright.
teleports. Did you know that?
Okay, compare then.
You do nothing for society. It just teleports.
What you do for society is nothing compared to the hardworking people that move freight and benefit this country directly.
No, it teleports there either way. You're not doing anything.
How do you think it got there, realistically?
It teleported.
Don't quit with the stupid anecdotal and hypothetical bullshit.
The
dude.
anecdotal, yeah.
You're real.
Anecdotally, I know that it teleported.
No, you're ridiculous.
How am I ridiculous? All I've done is demonstrate facts to you, and you won't accept the truth.
No, what I just did to you just now is a clear example of how ungrateful you are. You're willing to disrespect people that move freight for you for the very shirt
No,
you're
you
wearing,
do
the headphones
nothing.
you're
You do
wearing.
absolutely nothing. Okay? It just teleports there. You know that you do nothing. Just admit it. This whole global conspiracy talking about how freight actually does things for people. This is ridiculous. All you do is go up on my live and spread bullshit, disrespect, and then you do literally nothing for our society. It teleports anyway, buddy.
I don't even know why you're laughing about that. It's not even funny.
I'm crying, bro. I'm crying. Oh my god, bro. Do you hear yourself? Like, you literally came on my live saying I don't have a real job. I'm trying to run it back on you, and you don't even realize,
You
bro. I'm literally trying to run the whole thing back on you. Obviously,
Say it
obviously, I
on.
believe people who do freight do stuff. And obviously, I
Hold
believe
on,
truck
dude.
drivers do shit. Holy f***. Obviously, it doesn't teleport there. Are you serious?
Well, yeah. Okay.
Come
so I know
on,
you say
man.
that, but just the fact that you're doing that is totally disrespectful, and the fact that you do it is wrong. Now, hold on a second. You are not beneficial to society because you're sitting on your ass all day, dividing and disrespecting people.
I am
So
not
how-
dividing this country. I'm not
how-
disrespecting this country. I'm making this country a better place.
Explain
I'm
to
getting
me
people to
how-
critically think more. I'm getting people to engage more and educate themselves more. I know it's
Okay, do it-
impossible with you, but you cannot project the fact that you can't learn on everyone else.
Do it in a better way then, because you're
So
starting
it's
not
you
looking
saying it
good.
doesn't do anything for you is not evidence. It doesn't do anything for anyone else. Now, for the people in the comment section, if this live stream has educated you more, has involved yourself more, has gotten you involved more, has inspired you more as a person, type a 3 in the comment section. If this live stream has added to your life in any meaningful way, type a 3 in the comment section. And then sit there and, by the way, tell me that it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't benefit anyone. Look at the chat. You got 7,000 people here on TikTok, and you've got almost 4,000 people on YouTube spamming 3 in the comment section talking about how this does meaningfully impact their life. The argument that people make that this isn't meaningfully impactful is simply just a projection based upon their own life or their own experiences with it. And just because you have an experience with it that isn't positive or beneficial doesn't mean everyone else has that exact same experience. What?
Treating people in the wrong, disrespectful way.
But I'm not being okay. So you just keep
Maybe
bringing up
not
this
your
claim. I'm like,
family.
you're disrespectful, Parker. You're disrespectful, Parker. You're so disrespectful. You don't care about disrespect. We showed you how you don't. You don't call it out with your own administration. You gonna call me disrespectful again? You gonna say I should be sued?
He was disrespectful. About
Did
the
Charlie Kirk have a real
little thing.
job?
Yeah, he had a real job because he did it in a positive way, not a disrespectful way like you.
So you're saying that people that do exactly what Charlie Kirk does, but in a disrespectful way, means they don't have a job? What?
Means that you're not,
I have a
means that you're
question.
not actually
I have a question.
beneficial
Can
to
you be?
society. That's why
Are
you're
there
trying to
any
look good.
disrespect? Wait, I have a question. Are there any disrespectful people with jobs?
Oh yeah, I'm sure all the liberals and Democrats.
Okay, so all the liberals and every single one. So
But
you're
if you
saying
notice now,
if
there's a
you're saying
trend of
if someone
most
is
of them
a
becoming
hold up,
unemployed
hold
and
up.
coming on here and
Hold
making
up.
money.
The argument that you were making was that I don't have a job because I'm disrespectful. But you just said there's a bunch of disrespectful people that have jobs. So I can have a job and be disrespectful, right?
Right, but the difference is you're self-employed and you're sitting here doing it the wrong way, and it's just going to keep happening.
So
But
I am
if you
employed.
work for
Thank
an
you very much.
employer-
He just
if you
conceded,
work
everybody.
for-
He said I'm self-employed. Can we get some W's in the comment section?
Oh, yeah.
The guest has acknowledged that Parker get a job, actually has a real job,
Yes.
actually runs a business and is self-employed. Look at that, everybody. He's acknowledged the truth.
Yes, self-employed, but you're not.
So I'm employed?
being beneficial to society with it. There's a difference.
Oh,
between
okay, let's go.
making
So,
valuable
chat, we have
content
moved up in
and
this
what you're
world. We're
doing.
employed now. We are employed now. You've heard it here first, folks. Parker Get a Job has finally got a job. Let's go. Parker
like
Get a
you-
Job has got a job. Let's go, chat. Let's
People-
go. You heard it here first, folks. We got a
No.
job. Let's go.
No,
We're
he doesn't try
employed.
to
You
make
heard it here
himself
first,
look so
folks.
good.
Let's go.
He tries to make himself look so good by doing this. But let's say you go get employed with like an employer that's reasonable and you act this way. You think you're not going to get fired?
No, dude, I'm not gonna get fired. Are you kidding me, dude? I am
Yeah.
I'm my boss. I'm
Right, I know
talking
you
to
are.
my boss right now. Okay, my boss hears everything that I'm saying, and my boss is not going to fire me at all. Okay?
All right, go get a job at like Walmart or something or somewhere.
No,
and
I'm
act
good.
The way you do.
I know. I don't. Well, I'm not getting a job at Walmart. I'm gonna work for Parkergetajob.
Right. That's not beneficial to society.
What do you mean? I
Human
got the
traits beneficial for
best
society.
boss, bro. What are you talking about, dude? I love my boss.
Right, but you're not a patriot. You're not beneficial.
I am
for
a patriot.
society.
How am I
No,
not a
you're not.
patriot?
Because you spread hate and disrespect every single day to people and dehumanize. That's
You're
not
manifesting.
respectful. It's not
I did. I
beneficial to
no, I
society.
don't. That never happens on my live stream.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, incorrect. Go look at your
Nope,
videos.
nope. I'm
You didn't
correct.
delete
Never,
them.
never once have I ever been disrespectful to someone on my live stream. That's never happened before.
Wrong.
No, dude, you are denying reality right now. Can you name
No,
one
you're
time I've
denying
ever
reality.
been disrespectful? Never has happened. Anytime I engage in action, it's just by nature of the action that I've engaged in, not disrespectful. Okay? Every action Parker engages in is respectful. Now, that's a premise you can't dispute.
You literally just disrespected the.
No,
freight
I didn't.
industry on
No,
top
I
of
did
live.
not. No, I did not. That didn't
Yeah, you did.
happen.
Make sure you don't delete that out of your video too.
Nope, that will not be in the video because it didn't happen.
So another example of why you're not beneficial to society is because you're actively influencing other people to become unemployed and do what you're doing, therefore spreading hate and disrespect and not benefiting society in a positive way. Instead, you're disrespecting people that move freight on live TV.
Dude, chat, I actually can't believe this guy's real. Like, all things put aside, how the are you a real person? Like, Dean put it right earlier. How did I find you, dude? Holy shit. How did you just randomly up into my box, dude? You've been at 5% for like 50 minutes, dude. What percent is your phone at right now, bro?
You're ridiculous.
What percent is your phone at?
3.
It only got down 2%.
Yep.
No way. Okay, we got time, bro. We got time. You tried to leave on 5%. We had plenty of time, bro. What are you talking about? Am I, dude? Hey, what can I do to make myself not disrespectful anymore? What can I do to stop being a disrespectful, horrible human being?
Debate in good faith, like Charlie Kirk did.
Okay, so he left. You know what, chat? I've gotta become a better person. Give me a second. Let me become a better person. Dean Withers, please. Dean Withers, can you hear me? Dean Withers, please. Save me, Dean Withers, please. Dean Withers, please, save me. We need your help, Dean Withers, please, please. Dean Withers, where you at? We need your help so much, Dean Withers, please. Dean, please, we need you, Dean. Dean Withers, where you at? Okay, alrighty, everybody.